The 7th century witnessed the phenomenal rise of Islam. From its humble beginnings in Mecca, the new religion spread rapidly, reaching vast territories within a few decades. This expansion, however, was not without its challenges. The death of Prophet Muhammad in 632 CE led to disputes over succession and leadership, creating fissures within the early Muslim community. These divisions intensified as the Islamic Empire grew. Different factions emerged, each vying for power and influence. The Umayyad dynasty, established in 661 CE, sought to consolidate its rule over this vast and diverse realm. Their efforts, however, were met with resistance from those who challenged their legitimacy or opposed their policies. This period of political turmoil coincided with a growing sense of religious fervor. Muslims took their faith seriously and believed in upholding its principles. This potent mix of religious zeal and political ambition set the stage for a dramatic confrontation in one of Islam's holiest cities, Mecca. The year was 680 CE, and the Muslim world was about to be shaken to its core. The first fitna, as this period of civil war is known, exposed the vulnerabilities of a rapidly expanding empire grappling with questions of leadership and religious authority. It would have lasting consequences for the political and religious landscape of the Muslim world, setting the stage for future conflicts and power struggles. Mecca, home to the Kaaba, the holiest shrine in Islam, occupied a position of unique spiritual significance. Muslims from all corners of the empire turned towards it in prayer 5 times a day. The city held a revered place in the hearts of believers, representing the birthplace of Islam and the center of their faith. However, the political turbulence engulfing the Muslim world did not leave Mecca untouched. The city found itself caught in the crosshairs of ambition and rivalry. Its sanctity, rather than shielding it from conflict, became a point of contention. Whoever controlled Mecca wielded not only political power but also immense religious authority. This strategic and symbolic importance made Mecca a prize worth fighting for. As the power struggles of the late 7th century escalated, Mecca became a focal point of conflict. Its inhabitants found themselves divided in their loyalties, torn between competing claims to the caliphate, the highest authority in Islam. The struggle for Mecca was not merely a political contest, it was a clash of principles and personalities, a battle for the soul of Islam. The very heart of the Muslim world was about to become a battleground. The stage was set for a confrontation that would test the limits of faith and redefine the relationship between power and religion. In the midst of this turmoil, a prominent figure emerged in Mecca, Abdullah ibn al-Zubayr. He was a man of impeccable lineage, the son of al-Zubayr ibn al-Awwam, a close companion of Prophet Muhammad, and Asma bint Abi Bakr, the daughter of the first caliph, Abu Bakr. This prestigious background, coupled with his piety and reputation for justice, earned him considerable respect and influence. Ibn al-Zubayr watched with growing unease as the Umayyad dynasty consolidated its grip on power. He saw their rule as corrupt and oppressive, a betrayal of the Prophet's legacy. He believed that the caliphate should be held by those who embodied the true spirit of Islam, not by a dynasty clinging to power through worldly means. In 683 CE, following the death of Muawiyah II, the Umayyad caliph, Ibn al-Zubayr made a bold move. He declared himself caliph in Mecca, challenging the legitimacy of the Umayyad dynasty. His declaration resonated with many who shared his disillusionment with the Umayyads, and he quickly gained support across Arabia and beyond. This act of defiance marked a turning point in the power struggle engulfing the Muslim world. Ibn al-Zubayr's challenge to the Umayyads was not merely a political rebellion, it was a declaration of independence from what he perceived as a corrupt and unjust regime. His stand would have far-reaching consequences, plunging the Islamic world into a prolonged and bloody conflict. Section 4. The Iron Fist of the Caliphate. Enter Al-Hajjaj ibn Yusuf. The Umayyad Caliph Abd al-Malik ibn Marwan faced a direct challenge to his authority. He dispatched Al-Hajjaj ibn Yusuf to quell the rebellion and bring Ibn al-Zubayr to heel. Al-Hajjaj, known for his ruthlessness, was a loyal servant of the Umayyad dynasty. He marched towards Mecca with a large army determined to crush the rebellion. In 691 CE, Al-Hajjaj's forces reached Mecca, preparing for a siege. The sight of the army filled Mecca's inhabitants with dread. The Siege of Mecca was about to begin, marking a turning point in the conflict. Section 5. A Holy City Under Siege, Mecca's Ordeal. The Siege of Mecca was a period of great hardship and suffering for the city's inhabitants. For months, Al-Hajjaj's forces bombarded the city with catapults, launching stones and incendiary projectiles into the crowded streets. The once bustling marketplace fell silent, its stalls abandoned and its traders forced into hiding. The Kaaba, the holiest shrine in Islam, was not spared from the onslaught. Several of the projectiles launched by Al-Hajjaj's catapults struck the Kaaba, damaging its walls and desecrating its sanctity. This act of sacrilege sent shockwaves throughout the Muslim world, outraging even those who had initially supported the Umayyad cause. Food and water became scarce within the besieged city, and disease spread rapidly among the malnourished and desperate population. The cries of the hungry and the moans of the sick echoed through the narrow streets, a constant reminder of the siege's toll. Still, Ibn al-Zubayr remained defiant, refusing to surrender to what he saw as an illegitimate and tyrannical regime. The Siege of Mecca was a stark illustration of the human cost of conflict. Even in the name of religion, it highlighted the devastating consequences of unchecked ambition and the fragility of peace in the face of power struggles. The holy city, once a beacon of hope and unity, had become a battleground, its streets stained with the blood of its own people.